Hello, come in. Oh, hello. Hi, here you are. Do you know, I was going to have a little tidy up before you arrived because it's a bit embarrassingly chaotic in here because I've been busy. But actually, maybe it's better. I just like this lovely little Peterson spigot. I was just listening to the lovely radio programme by the Poet Laureate Simon Armitage called The Poet Laureate is in His Shed. And he's having a conversation in his shed with J.K. Rowling. And they were talking about visiting other writers' huts and sheds and desks and, writing rooms, and regretting the fact that the ones that have been turned into almost shrines or museums have all been tidied up. She was regretting that Hemingway's one had been tidied up, and he was regretting, this isn't lighting, that Robert Graves had been tidied up. So maybe we shouldn't tidy this up. I'll tell you what, I might do a little poem at the end, but why don't we just, it's new anyway. Why don't we have a quick tour of the sheer untidiness? It all tells a story. Somebody once came into my room and saw it like this. And they said, "Oh, I see you're compassionate. You use the deep litter filing system," which is very true. So, anyway. Well, over here, this is the stuff immediately to be dealt with. Here's my bag. I've just come back from a railway journey. That's got all the precious manuscripts and the working notebook of my Arthurian poems, in the faint hope that I would work on them on the train, but the trains are never quiet enough to do it. And behind it are all the Tolkien books, which I need to put back on the shelves, piled up because they were what were in the bag before I had to put the other things in the bag, because I was doing the Tolkien programme for Radio 4. And then this, sort of vertically, is a pile of stuff that I need to think about placing, but actually every time I see it, it's good. Look at this. This is fantastic. Signed by Ned Bustard himself, Christ of the Glen. He gave me this after we'd had the Glen workshop in Santa Fe. And it's a beautiful woodcut. Christ as the sower in the parable of the sower, and the rather wicked-looking bird ready to snatch up the seed. It's superb. And underneath it is, this is a Georgia O'Keeffe. Of course, she was in or near Santa Fe. I went to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum and I got that. I just thought the colours were fantastic. I thought it was quite Blakean, really. Well, that was just given to me the other day. I haven't, thought about it or where to shelve it. A book on the Buddha by my good friend Tony Morris, who was the person who actually commissioned me to write my first published book, which was What Do Christians Believe? I won't go this pipe. So then this is all more or less untarnished, though. You see, I've got my rain stick leaning up here because I was reading the rain stick poem on a Zoom call recently. And there are the random author copies of my last two books, which I'm waiting to send to people. I keep this chessboard, which has the chess pieces inside, in the faint hope that I'll have the leisure one day to play chess, or even to pose and solve chess problems like I used to. It's a random pipe. I've lost the stem for that. Bits of now semi-contaminated chocolate from my pocket. Wonderful whiskey bottles. I just bought another Lafroig. That's very good. And then we come to the desk itself, which is a disgrace. But it's a disgrace with an excuse, in that all these things have been got out of necessity and used, and then another necessity has hastened swiftly upon it, and there's been no chance to put anything away. But I'll tell you what, here's an irony. So I did an interview for the Henry Nouwen Society, where they wanted me to refer to various of my books, so I had them out. Anyway, I was looking through this one after prayer, and there's a poem. You can enjoy the full irony of this. There's a poem in here about clearing my desk in order to write poetry. I only wish that reading the poem, which is called Preliminary Ritual, about clearing the desk, would actually magically clear the desk. Now that would be fantastic. Anyway, I don't think it will, so why don't you sit down and I'll read you the poem and we'll hope that the desk clears itself behind me. I haven't even shown you the other things. I mean, this is interesting. You see that, A Sapientia? This is a beautiful painting by the painter Adam Bolter, which is inspired partly by the beautiful collect, O Wisdom Coming Forth, but also by my poem about it. I wrote a sequence of 7 poems on the O Antiphons, and he did this amazing series of paintings. And those are out because I'm about to go up to Derbyshire and lead a retreat about the O Antiphons. So I've got them out, naturally. But it's time to take things out. It's time to read them and reflect on them. But tragically, there's no time to put them away. Anyway, we can at least poetically imagine clearing the desk with this poem, which is called Preliminary Ritual. First, there is the clearing of the desk, displacing chaos for a working space, and then the putting of each thing in place, the pen and paper ready for the task. And then there is the opening of the pen, the lifting of its lovely silver cap, which fits back on the barrel with a snap, leaving the golden nib exposed. And then, with pen in hand, you try a line or two on scrap paper. You have a little go to test how well both thought and ink might flow, hoping to find that both are coming through, and so they are. But both are poor and thin. Will they be turned aside by this harsh age? Your pen is poised above the empty page. There's nothing for it now but to begin. And I suppose begin I better had, but it's nice to be distracted by you first. Thanks for calling round.